What's going on, my Trainer Club? Today, I'm gonna give you my top tips to help you maximize out on the Team Go Rocket weekend in Pokemon Go. So, welcome to the Trainer Club. Here we go! Welcome back, everybody. Let me know in the comments below, are you excited to get after the Team Go Rocket event this weekend? Are you excited for the boosts in these spawns, the new shiny, and the Darkrai to come back to raids? Because I'm super excited about this. I really like the Darkrai. I'm really excited about the shiny potentials and everything that is going on this weekend. And plus, we have the Go Battle League that we are finishing up with. So if you guys want to see any of the details, you can check it out up here, or you can wait till the end of the video as well. So today, we're gonna make sure that you get my top tips to maximize out on this event weekend, right? Because we have new shinies, like I said, and we have some great things going on, including the raid boss. So it's gonna go from right now, wherever you are, 8 a.m. on Friday, which is probably gonna be at the time or before this video is announced. And it's gonna go all the way until Monday at 10 p.m. So that gives us 4 days to be able to get after all of the details. The details are going to include increased poison and dark type spawns in the wild, that are going to be related to Team Go Rocket as well. We have 2 times mysterious components. So when you do defeat a Team Go Rocket Grunts, you're going to get 2 for the price of 1, so you're going to be able to get after the leaders twice as fast. We have Darkrai that is going to be out with a shiny potential, so if you guys have missed Darkrai, you can definitely check it out. Also, I'm going to pin in the comments below that is going to include everything you need to know for the Darkrai, because it is definitely a Pokemon that's hard to catch, and it does have very powerful movesets, so you're going to want to set your parties up properly and know how to hit those excellent throws with the proper timing. And then on Saturday from 2 to 5 local time, we have a Team Go Rocket Takeover event, similar to like we had last year, if you guys do remember it, where every Pokestop is going to beat Team Rocket. There's going to be increased activity from the leaders, as well as increased activity from Giovanni. So if you do not have Entei Shadow form, this is going to be the time to get it. There's going to be a couple features. You're going to get 2 times the amount of Stardust, which is going to be 1,000 Stardust. On a star piece, you're going to get 1,500. So if you're doing a lot, you maybe have a gotcha or a plus or an auto catcher running in the background, and you are going after raids as well, this may be a time to use your star pieces, which we'll look at in a second. And then also, you can TM away frustration. The positive thing about doing that is that it allows you to be able to learn a move of the community day when you do evolve it, because a lot of times we may rescue a shadow Pokemon and it might have really good PvP stats that you may want to use. But if it does have frustration and you're able to evolve it during the community day, it will not learn the move. However, if you do TM away frustration and then evolve it whenever the move is appropriate, you're going to be able to learn the community day move for this Pokemon, which is super positive if you do not want to purify it and use it in that regard. And then there are going to be 6 shadow Pokemon that the Rocket leaders have used. They are all going to be available during this time with their shiny potentials, right? So this is super exciting. So now we're going to get into my top 3 tips to make sure you guys are ready, prepped to go to maximize on everything this Team Go Rocket event has. Starting tip number 1. Tip number 1 is going to be to focus on the Darkrai as much as possible, because Darkrai is a very, very powerful dark attacker. It does get some awesome movesets with the Go Battle League. It's really good for the Master League.
It's going to be ranked 11 in the Master League with Snarl, Dark Pulse, and Focus Blast.
Very, very powerful Pokemon. So it's definitely one you want to get, and it has a shiny potential. I did not anticipate that this Pokemon would come back all the way until next Halloween. However, it is already back, and the shiny potential is out, and it cannot be traded. So if you do have any friends that do not play or are taking a break or whatever that is in any facet, make sure to invite them back. Just say, hey, you need to get this Darkrai because we cannot trade it at any point. It's not like some of the other legendaries where they're like, hey dude, just save some of them and then we could trade them later. This Pokemon cannot be traded, so make sure to get out there, get as many Darkrai as possible, and make sure to check out my counter guide excellent throw tutorial. 2136 is the normal, level 20 100% IV, and the level 25 boosted is going to be 2671, which is going to bring us to tip number 2. Tip number 2 is going to be to play and hunt as much as possible during this event, because number 1, we have the shiny Skorupi out. So Skorupi turns into Drapion. Drapion is actually going to be pretty good for the PvP purposes. In the Great League, it's going to be ranked 81 with Bite, Fell Stinger, which is actually a new move that got a buff, and Aqua Tail. And then if you're going to use it for the Ultra League, it's going to be ranked 46. So it's definitely a Pokemon to consider using if you are trying to get a little bit off meta and use some Pokemon that people may not know how to counter against. Really, really effective. So the 100% IVs for the PvP in the Great League for rank 1 in the Great League, it's going to be 2, 15, 14. So with the a little bit higher attack, I definitely like this rank 1. So it's definitely a Pokemon that you want to check out. And as far as the Ultra League, it's actually going to max out 2454. So it's going to be underneath the 2500 rank. And then if you're going to boost it all the way until level 41, if you so desire, I know it's going to be a lot of work, but if it really proves effective on your team, it's definitely something you could do, and it will sit under that 2500 mark. And then the other Pokemon that are going to be boosted are going to be related to Team Go Rocket or poison Pokemon. So we do have the Sandshrew with the shiny potential. We have the Zubat with the shiny potential. Highly suggest that you guys try to click on as many Zubats as possible. Cloudy weather is going to be an amazing time to hunt these Pokemon, and foggy weather, depending on some that we are going to look at as well. We have Tentacool, shiny potential. Grimer, which has a shiny potential. We have the Cubone, which has a shiny potential. We also have Coughing with a shiny potential. We have Sneasel with a shiny potential for anybody that doesn't have it. We have Houndour with a shiny potential. If you guys do not have one, you definitely want to get this. It is definitely not a very common Pokemon, but the shiny potential is highly desired by a lot of people. We have Poochyena, which is going to have a shiny potential as well. And then we have the Absol, which is going to be spawning in the wild, which is absolutely super rare. Never really spawns in the wild outside of events, so now is a great time for you to get after trying to get your shiny Absol, which is a huge highlight of the event, along with the Zubat, which is a very rare shiny as well. And then we have the Skorupi that we talked about, as well as the Trubbish. So this Pokemon is definitely more rare. It's a new Unova Pokemon, so definitely get out there, hunt this Pokemon, pineapple it to collect some of the candy as well. Which is gonna lead us to tip number 3. Tip number 3 is going to be, make sure to look after some of these raid bosses externally of the Darkrai for Pokemon that you may need. So now that we have the fossil Pokemon in the 7-kilometer eggs and we do not have the Alolans or the babies, you may want to get after some of these raid bosses. I am not going to point out every single raid boss that is going on. Big shout out to Leak Duck for putting together all of these amazing graphics, but the Alolan Grimer does have a shiny potential, and it is a very effective Pokemon in the Great and the Ultra League. So definitely a Pokemon that you would like to get. However, once you do get it, you are not going to want to keep it at its 10, 10, 10 IVs and up. You are going to want to trade it with a lower level friend, and since it is not any type of unique Pokemon and that other person should have it, it will not cost any more dust than normal trades. So this is definitely a Pokemon to drop the attack, bring up the defense and stamina. 100% IV is going to be 785 on that one if you are looking for the 100% IV in actuality for meta raids and everything like that. And then the one thing about Timber is that it is going to have a shiny potential next weekend. So you may want to hold out on the Timber raids. In tier 2, we have the Executor, the Alolan one, which does have a shiny potential. 1722 is going to be the 100% IV for that one. And then we have the Sneasel. If you're looking for a good quality shiny potential Sneasel, really may be difficult to acquire, but you can definitely look at that. We have the Mightyena. I would suggest not going after the Mightyena because it doesn't have a shiny potential, and I think it's kind of just a waste, right? You can get your PvP ones in the wild, you cannot get them from the raids as far as the best stats go. And then we have the Sableye, which is going to be effective in the Great League. It maxes below the 1500 mark. You can use it as a best buddy boost, which is going to boost it all the way up. So it's definitely a Pokemon that you may want to consider. It does have a shiny potential. 843 is going to be the level 20 100% IV. And then we have Mawile. Mawile does have a shiny potential. It is a semi-decent PvP Pokemon. You definitely have to know how to use it, but it can prove effective. And if you don't know it's coming and you don't know how to counter it, it can definitely hold some weight in there. In the tier 3, we have the Alolan Raichu, which does have a shiny potential. This Pokemon is definitely effective in the Great League. It holds a lot of weight. It is very powerful. It gets some unique movesets that charge very quickly, and it does a lot of damage. So you're going to have to trade it to try to drop the attack, bring up the defense stamina for optimal results with this Raichu. 1306 is going to be the 100% IV, and then boosted in the windy weather or the rainy weather at 1633. And then we have the Umbreon. The thing about the Umbreon is you do want it with the Community Day move. So unfortunately, this is not going to be the most effective. And then we have Crodont, which also you can get in the wild. So I wouldn't necessarily raid for this. And then we have Skunk Tank as well. Another Pokemon that you can acquire. somewhat easily in the wild with better IVs, so I wouldn't raid for this one. And this Pokemon in particular actually charges a little bit slower, so you really have to know how to use this if you plan to use it in the Great League. And then in Tier 4, we have Nidoking. We have the Lowland Marowak, which is definitely a PvP Great League Pokemon. 100% IV is going to be 1048, so this Pokemon is definitely useful. You're also going to have to trade it preferably with a lower level friend to drop the attack, raise the defense and stamina. Then we have Tyranitar. The one thing about the Tyranitar, unless you're planning to use it as an all dark type Pokemon, I don't think that this is a Pokemon to Elite TM if you get 100% IV, to be quite honest with you guys. There are plenty out there for trades, and you can evolve it in the December to get the Smackdown. Maybe you do need a Tyranitar, or maybe you're going to need some of the Larvitar candy, but besides that, I would not suggest going after this one. However, Shiftry, definitely a Pokemon to get after. If you're going to use it for the Ultra League, you can definitely raid for it because you're going to want it at 15, 15, 15, 100% IV. But for the Great League, these C dots are so incredibly common, I wouldn't suggest using your raid passes for this Pokemon. But if you so desire, level 20, 1333 is going to be the 100% IV. And then of course, you want to get after the Darkrai. That is a Pokemon that's a no-brainer. It is going to be very valuable for your team. So that's going to be it for my top 3 tips. However, I'm going to throw a bonus one in there because we want to maximize as much as possible on the Team Go Rocket Leader event that is going to be from 2 to 5 on Saturday, which Cliff is going to have the potential for the Meowth as well as the Stantler. Arlo is going to have the Scyther as well as the Bagon. And Sierra is going to have the Sneasel as well as the already in the wild, which is going to be, even though it looks so much cooler, Absol as a shiny shadow Pokemon. So any of these Pokemon you're definitely going to want to go after. The cool thing is you can now TM away frustration. So if there is a shadow Pokemon that you have that is maybe good PvP stats, it is a tremendous amount more candy and dust to power up shadow Pokemon. However, if it is really close and you so desire to use it, I would suggest TMing away frustration if you have really good stats, and if you purify it, it's going to bring it out of those stats. So just keep that in mind. Make sure you guys are out there playing as much as possible, checking as many Skorupis as possible with those new shinies, and getting after those rare shinies as well that are now boosted, and playing in the weather that is most effective, which is the foggy weather, which is not super common, but the cloudy weather definitely boosts poison a lot of these Pokemon as well. So thank you guys for tuning in, all my likers, commenters, subscribers, Patreon members, and everybody who takes their subscription and support to the next level. I'm gonna see you guys out on that next video. Peace.
I just want to take a moment and sincerely thank all of my Patreon members, everybody that has taken their subscription to the next level and chosen to support me on this platform. I greatly appreciate you guys. As a growing channel and really trying to grow and improve as much as I possibly can, I really appreciate the extra support. You guys mean the absolute world to me. I cannot wait to connect with you soon, and I appreciate you guys all for being a part of the Trainer Club. I will see you guys out on the next video.